Have you ever watched an anime and then felt betrayed? I've never felt this, you know? Studio Trigger, okay? A studio that I really like produced some of my favorite anime like Little Witch Academia and all of its specials, Kill la Kill, two of my favorite shows. They also produced Inferno Cop, which I love, Space Patrol Luluco, all of these interesting ideas, and the studio comes from veterans of Studio Gainax. And when I was initially looking at Darling in the Franxx, if you look at all of the staff lists for the show, it's like Gainax, like pro Gainax people. Atsushi Nishigori was a Gainax veteran, the director of Darling in the Franxx, and he pulled all of his friends together to make a fucking great looking anime. Darling in the Franxx looks great. You see, the bad thing about Darling in the Franxx is that he pulled all these people together into a bad show, right? Darling in the Franxx has some redeeming qualities towards it. Like, all of the character designs and all the mech designs I think are awesome. I think they're pretty cool and attractive. I think, besides Hero, I think every character looks interesting and different. Like, I haven't really seen that many. Like, maybe like Zorome and like Futoshi look kind of average anime trope. But overall, the character designs are great. Ichigo, I love her hair. 02 looks interesting, and she's got an interesting personality. You see these interesting characters, and the mech designs look awesome. It's the character design, the mech designer for Star Driver, which those mechs look fucking awesome. So, the biggest problem in the show is the writing. So, I don't know if Atsushi Nishigori thought,
hey, maybe I should learn how to write before I become like the series writer.
He's like the head writer of Darling in the Franxx, which is like, he doesn't have much experience in this. He's more of a animator and like sort of thing. This is his first way around, and you can really tell this like throughout the show. It reminds me a lot of Steven Universe, which I talked about in the last video, which is very inconsistent in parts, right? It wants to be a mashup of Evangelion and Gurren Lagann, you see, but it's not. See, the problem with Darling in the Franxx is that, okay, let's use a metaphor here. So let's say the conception is Evangelion, right? So, in the span of a week, Evangelion fucks Gurren Lagann, Gunbuster, and Arrow Manga Sensei. So you see, the thing is that when Darling in the Franxx came out, Evangelion thought that it would give birth to Gurren Lagann's baby or Gunbuster's baby. But the thing that it forgot is that it fucked Arrow Manga Sensei. A1 Pictures Manga Sensei. I'm not blaming it on A1 Pictures. I don't know if they have, it's not really their fault as a studio, even though they make a lot of bad shows, but they also make decent shows. I'm just saying bad writing. For example, the characters. Hero is a terrible protagonist because he has no personality. The only bit of personality is that like he cares about people and he's boring to root for. I don't want to root for this fucker. The biggest problem with the first episode is that they give us zero fucking reason for us to care about him at all. And it's really only shown a bit more throughout, like, hey, he gave them the names, but like, really? That's it? He's nothing. He's a nothing character. He's a blank slate, but he's overall good. He's an overall good person, but he's a blank slate of a person that I don't want to watch. And that's why I initially dropped the show when I watched the first episode. I'm like, really? This is boring. But it contrasts with his girlfriend in the show 02, who has a very eccentric personality, a very interesting personality. But you see, when they become a couple, her personality turns off and she just becomes an average girl in their fucking place. And I'm like, why would you take the best, most interesting character in the show and then, you know, make her boring like every other character in the show? Like, Ichigo isn't bad, she has a personality. Goro isn't bad, he has a personality. For the most part, he's kind of flat. He's kind of like falls into the trope of glasses guy in, you know, average anime. The thing that got me excited was, I believe, episode 12. I forget which episode, but it's the one where they go into the city and Zorome, he runs off to go see what the city's about. I'm like, okay, this is gonna catalyst us into, you know, exploring the world, exploring the dynamics of this world that we know nothing about, right? Like, where's the curiosity here? What Darling in the Franxx should have learned from shitty teen novels is the curiosity drives teenagers a lot and drives people a lot curiosity is a main thing. And these fuckers don't get curious about anything going on in their world until like episode 16. And I understand like they're supposed to follow protocol, they're grown that way, but like they don't question anything. Like Zorome straight up goes to this old person and could have questioned them so much, could have asked about, oh, how's it going? Because the old people think these kids are diseased. What is this fucking disease? Like the parasite disease, I guess, that they'll kill them off. But like, hey, can you go into more depth about why they're separated? Do you want to do that, Darling in the Franxx? Nope. Okay, you're just gonna fucking make me wait till like the last episode or something. The thing you can throw at me is that Gurren Lagann, my favorite show ever, doesn't really explain everything going on in its world until the very final episode. You see, the counter to that is that Gurren Lagann has good characters. And other things going on than like the themes and the ways of the world. It has interesting characters, interesting dynamics going on. Darling in the Franxx is like, hey, I'm gonna be like ReZero. There's gonna be a best girl debate. Ichigo sucks, even though that's totally what her character would do. Like all these fucking idiots saying Ichigo is a terrible character. She's not a terrible fucking character. She might be a scummy person, yes, but that's not her character. She is an okay character, characterization-wise. She has clear goals, clear morals, and she has goals. Like I want Hiro. I want him to be my fucking boyfriend, right? And then all these fucking idiots are like, oh my god, why would he pull apart Zero 2 even though she didn't see the flashback in episode 14? Why would she do that? Oh my god. Some people just shouldn't be able to speak, you know? You ever think about that? You ever think they shouldn't be able to talk critically on things unless they do a little bit of, you know, research into something? And it's just mind-boggling, right? Another problem with the show is just the cliche of everything. These characters, a lot of these characters don't go beyond stereotypes here. Like each character has like, oh, I am a trope and I'm not going to go beyond it, right? There's fat guy, there's Zorome, he's quirky, angry guy. Then there's Mitsuki, I think that's his name. He's, oh, I'm cocky guy. And then there's Mitsuki's partner, right? You see, the biggest problem with her is that she was, oh, I am, intellectual girl. Everything should be right. You see, she doesn't have a character, right? She doesn't have a character. So in episode 17, they're like, oh, fuck. Everyone is doing something, right? At least a little bit. The fat guy's like having problems with Kokoro, right? What is going on with this girl? So they're like, okay, episode 17, we need a conflict besides the Mitsuki and Kokoro's, minds being erased. Okay, so how about we make her a lesbian, right? For Ichigo. What the fuck? For a character to come out and confess their love to someone just out of nowhere, right? There's no, hints to this happening. There's no foreshadowing. There's no actions that this girl does towards Ichigo. The only thing that happened is that they piloted it together. She wasn't even excited about it, right? She didn't show any emotion. You'll probably respond like,
yeah, because she's shy and stuff.
She ain't shy, bro. She ain't shy. She just kind of like an anal person. She's like, not really much. But this comes so out of left field. It was so jarring to me. I'm watching the episode and it's like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, honestly, they forgot to characterize her, so they give her a characterization kind of rushed. And the big nail on the head there is that they use the reasoning for Aikano, I think is her name is. Aikano loving Ichigo. The reasoning is that Ichigo gave her her name, which they've used like 3 times already. Why does Zero 2 love Ichigo? I mean, why does Zero 2 love Hiro? They gave the names, right? That's part of it. Why does Ichigo love Hiro? He gave him her name. Why does, it's the same fucking shit. It's so bland. It's such a bland, average show, and it pisses me off because it's so popular and everybody loves it. I don't hate the show. I think I'm gonna stick till the end because it's interesting enough. I want to see where it goes, but I don't care for these characters. They're shit bad. Oh, here's something else. Futoshi, the fat guy, right? In episode 15, I believe, when they're like, oh my god, maybe we don't only have to pilot the Franxx. Maybe there's something else for us to do, right? Even though they should have realized this a couple episodes ago, which they keep repeating the same shit. Futoshi reveals he is bulimic. He is vomiting up his food after he eats it. So how do they solve this? Zorome slaps him and then it's fixed. Excuse me? That is a serious mental illness. Slapping someone does not cure mental illness, you fucking idiots. What the fuck? Because it never gets brung up again. There's no struggle about it. He's fat.
Stop trying to not be fat. That's your only character trait, you fucking idiot. You're the fat guy who won't get the girl with the big boobs that he likes, you fucking idiot.
That's how it feels like. It feels like, you know, it's got the elements of mecha shows, but it doesn't have the heart of those shows. It's a soulless product, but it also has not even a product because the animation is great. Like, the fucking mecha battles are like, oh my god, like fucking Imaishi's doing some cuts and it's like, holy shit. But just the writing is what like lowers it a lot. There's also a video I watched recently by Econ, which is much better than this one, where he addresses, it's mostly centered around mecha shows and how Darling of the Franxx centers around them. He states a point about mecha shows aren't about mecha, they're about the pilot. And that is exactly what it's trying to do. That's what Darling of the Franxx is trying to do. They're trying to flesh out their pilot, but they utterly fail because they think less of their audience, I think. I have no idea. It's a bad show. It's like a, I don't want to call it bad, but it is. It's a bad show. My feelings may change by the end a bit. Like, it could make it to like average territory, but right now I'm sitting at a fat bad rating. So if you guys like this video and want to watch my other videos, why not subscribe to the channel? I make anime videos and like cartoon shit. And check out my Steven Universe video or my like Gurren Lagann video, which relates directly to this one. That's more of a comedic video than a serious like analytical shitting on video that I did right now. So if you guys like rants like these, subscribe and hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.